Thank you, Les.
Mhm.
We can put the questions in the chat box, and at the end of the webinar, we'll answer all the questions. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Dolores Uttero. She's with Georgia DOT, and she'll be talking to us about the use of Carbine emergency software tools. Dolores?
Thank you, Ali. Good afternoon. My name is Dolores Uttero. I'm the TMC manager with the Georgia Department of Transportation. And current software that we use is Carbine, as Ali mentioned. And the Carbine software is software that works in parallel with the existing phone software system that we have at the TMC, as well as our district offices for CHAMP dispatch. And the way that the software works is the motorist calls our Georgia 511 phone system for TMC, or our dispatch phone lines for the district offices for CHAMP dispatch. And if they're unaware of their exact location, or we cannot locate them based on their description of their surroundings, or we cannot locate them on camera, we enable the application, and we will the way this works is the dispatchers will first use the caller's number, and the way it works is the motorist will receive a text with a link, and if the motorist has agreed to receive the text, then they will and if they have the location services enabled on their phone, they will be able to provide our operators their location service informations, and with that we are able to then deploy our either PD or EMS services, or if they're in need of our SSP services for either Hero or CHAMP, then we are able to dispatch those services. The way that this program was first brought into the department was, we started with a 9-month pilot, 3-month pilot program, and what the department wanted to do was just observe what the results would be of, or in the benefits for the department. And what was observed was that there was a 20-minute reduction in the average dispatch time in locating motorists out in the roadway. And it was also observed that with that reduction in time of locating motorists out in the roadways, we also saw an improvement in our clearance time, as well as improved customer service. And we have then from there, what the department did was, we saw the benefit, and then we decided to incorporate this not only at the TMC, but as well as in our statewide program with all of our district offices with a CHAMP dispatch. Next slide. And can you hit it again? Sorry. And this just outlines exactly the way that the software works. The outcome of this tool was, again, as I mentioned before, is as the tool is used by the operators and dispatchers statewide, we see a reduction in the incident timeline. And this just shows a snippet of what our operators are able to see on their desktops or laptops. And, they input the motorist phone number, and they send out the text message, and if the motorist has their location the location options enabled on their phones, then we're able to locate them. And then you see, you know, here they receive the latitude and longitude, which we then enter into our ATMS, and we're able to create an event and then dispatch any type of services they are able to, you know, we're in need for the specific incident that we have. You know, we have the need for this throughout, you know, statewide. And if I could get the next slide, I can probably explain it better. So as we have, you know, implemented this software into our practices and into our SOPs statewide, we develop heat maps every month just to make sure that our operators are implementing and using it, you know, constantly for provide, you know, all the support that we need for our motorists, not only statewide in rural areas, you know, as I mentioned, in our district offices for CHAMP dispatch, but we also see, as you can see here in the middle image there for Atlanta, the metro area, we see a significant use of the software. You know, that could be due to just, you know, motorists that are, you know, just driving through the state and are not familiar with our roadways and just how our, you know, our system works. Or even we do see this also with just local, you know, residents that they may call us and they tell us exactly, they know where they are, but then sometimes they tell us the wrong directionality. They tell us they're in eastbound, but they're actually westbound. Or, you know, for 285, which is basically a circle, you know, it really matters exactly where you tell us where, you know, where you're located, because you can tell us you're in 285 northbound, and, you know, you can tell us you're in northbound, but it was eastbound, and then you end up in a completely opposite location of where you are. And if we're dispatching Hero to respond in the metro area, that can increase response time significantly, depending on the time of day, or sometimes that doesn't even matter. So as we have, you know, from the moment we implemented the program with Carbine, we have seen, you know, a continuous increase of the usage of the software within our operations, as I said, at the TMC, but also statewide. And we track all of the use on a monthly basis. We also, as part of our operations, we record our calls that come into the TMC. So we do an audit just to make sure if we're having issues with the software, if we're having issues, you know, to identify just kind of what type of problems we run into with the specific, you know, since we're talking about this, with the specific software. And some of the complications we do run into is if a user does not have their location services enabled on their phone. So our operators will walk them through that. Sometimes they just either don't want to, you know, for their own personal reasons, or sometimes they just don't understand what we're trying to tell them. But, you know, we've run into some of those, and other times, some of the, you know, we don't have, the reason why we don't have 100% of success uses, you know, if the motorists do not agree to receive the text message from us. And as I mentioned, we just continue to develop this heat maps. And in 2023, we went ahead and deployed licenses statewide. We started as a metro deployment on this, and just some hotspots. But then, you know, back in 2023, we went ahead and deployed licenses in all of our dispatch offices, and throughout Georgia have licenses for all of our operators. And and they can use it both when they're in the office as well as when they're working remotely. And like I said, we develop this heat maps every month to make sure that we are both that there are operators are still in the habit of using this software, and that I do have the right coverage, or if I need to increase licenses wherever. And I think that's all I had.